Okay, hello everybody. Today's video is going to be covering the second canticle from Tazbaha. And we're going to be covering it in Coptic. There will also be a video that covers it in English. So we ask ourselves, where is the second canticle from? Why is it important? Why is it relevant? Right? So the beauty of the second canticle is that it comes after the first canticle, which we recently discussed. And the first canticle, as you remember, details the passage of the Israelites in the book of Exodus out of Egypt, right? Specifically recognizing God's grace, his mercy, and his love for his people in the process of doing so. The second canticle is taken from Psalm 135. The words are a bit different because there's an added refrain and the words are a little bit different. The purpose of this is just to make it musical, right? But the goal here is to give thanks to the Lord after what we encountered in the first canticle. As people who are praising during Tasbah, in the first canticle, we encounter God's grace and his mercy and his strength. In here, we give thanks to God for what he's given us, right? Not just arising us as we've prayed in Tentino and giving us an opportunity as children of the light to praise him, not just for providing us safety and security, but also, right, for consistently being with us and present for us, regardless of where we go, which is why we have the refrain in the second canticle, his mercy endures forever. He is not a situational God in which some cases he'll be with you and other times he won't be, right? The purpose is to recognize that he's always with us. Okay. So we're going to go through it. This assumes that you have the ability to read Coptic. So there will be videos, I promise, uploaded on how to read Coptic and the Coptic alphabet and the Coptic language. But for now, this assumes that you have the ability to read Coptic. You're just looking to see A, how do we engage in the pronunciation? And B, importantly, right, how do we also apply the tune to the words? Okay, so we're going to go through it. And when there's particularly hard verses, I'll note that. Okay, so we'll start here. O onhevol mepshoijo Christoso agathos pi alleluia jebifnai shobshaine. O onhevol mifnoten teninoti alleluia jebifnai shobshaine. Okay, so those will be the first two verses. Okay, very similar, both beginning with on evol. Okay, so for the first verse, it's on evol mepshoijo Christoso agathos. Okay, so practice that. On evol mepshoijo Christoso agathos pi alleluia jebifnai shobshaine. So as you can notice, the tune is a bit anthemic, right? We're kind of chanting, right? We're not just saying something once, we're chanting. We're consistently kind of anthemically almost beating a drum with our voice as we say, oh, give thanks to the Lord for he is good and virtuous, right? So it's O onhevol mepshoijo Christoso agathos pi alleluia jebifnai shobshaine. Okay, one more time. O onhevol mepshoijo Christoso agathos pi alleluia jebifnai shobshaine. The next verse is O onhevol mifnoten teninoti alleluia jebifnai shobshaine. So make sure you're prolonging the nuti, right? O onhevol mifnoten teninoti alleluia jebifnai shobshaine. And notice, remember, we have an O with an epsilon here. So it's nuti. It's not O like O-T. It's not going to be no T. It's nuti, okay? O onhevol mifnoten teninoti alleluia jebifnai shobshaine. The next, O onhevol mepshoisenteni choice alleluia jebifnai shobshaine. One more time. O onhevol mepshoisenteni choice alleluia jebifnai shobshaine. O onhevol mepshoisenteni choice alleluia jebifnai shobshaine. One more time. O onhevol mepshoisenteni choice alleluia jebifnai shobshaine. Fi etiri en hanishti en shviri em avat. Okay, so here You're just kind of going through. There's not too much prolongation on any of the words or any of the syllables, right? It's fi etiri en ha nishti en ishfiri em avadf alleluia jebif naishob sha'ine. So it's 4 words. You're gonna kind of just go 1, 2, 3, 4, right after the other, right? Fi etiri en ha nishti en ishfiri em avadf alleluia jebif naishob sha'ine. One more time. Fi etiri en ha nishti en ishfiri em avadf alleluia jebif naishob sha'ine. Okay. Next, we have Fi etaftamio en nifio wichen ukati alleluia jebif naishob sha'ine. So the prolongation here is going to happen on the word ukati, right? So it's Fi etaftamio en nifio wichen ukati alleluia jebif naishob sha'ine. Okay, so we'll try that one more time. Fi etaftamio en nifio wichen ukati alleluia jebif naishob sha'ine. So the prolongation is happening on the ukati and it's happening at the A. So ukati, right? So just practice that. Ukati. So together it's going to be Fi etaftamio en nifio wichen ukati alleluia jebif naishob sha'ine. The next is going to be fiat tagro. Remember, we don't want to mix it up with fiat tamio, which comes right before. The beginning is the same, but the word is a little bit different. So it's fiat tagro mpika. Sorry, fiat tagro mpika hijenimo alleluia jebif naishob sha'ine. That's my bad. I mixed it up with another verse actually, as I was trying to make sure we don't mix up the verses. So the second verse here in white is going to be Fi etafagro empikahi jennimo alleluia jebif naishob sha'ine. So the prolongation is going to happen on nimo on the o, but the rest of it you're going to go straight through. So you're going to go and say Fi etafagro empikahi jennimo alleluia jebif naishob sha'ine. So just chant it normally, and when you get to nimo, that's where the prolongation happens. Nimo, okay? Fi etafagro empikahi jennimo alleluia jebif naishob sha'ine. Okay, so both of these verses together is going to go like this. Fi etaftamio en nifio wichen ukati alleluia jebif naishob sha'ine. Fi etafagro empikahi jennimo alleluia jebif naishob sha'ine. Okay? The next verse is going to be Fi etaftamio en hanishtin rev eroini em avat alleluia jebif naishob sha'ine. So I'll go a bit slower and pay attention where we are doing a little bit of a quicker kind of pronunciation. Okay? So it's Fi etaftamio en hanishti en rev eroini. Right? So in rev eroini, there's going to be a bit of a faster pace at en rev eroini. Okay? So it's going to be Fi etaftamio en hanishtin rev eroini em avad alleluia jebif naishob sha'ine. So you want to make sure that the transition from en hanishti to en rev eroini is fast. So it happens like this. Fi etaftamio en hanishtin rev eroini em avad. So slower. Fi etaftamio en hanishtin rev eroini em avad alleluia jebif naishob sha'ine. So notice how we pick up the pace a little bit to get all of the syllables in, right? It's Fi etaftamio en hanishtin rev eroini em avad, right? And rev eroini em avad. You're not really spending a lot of time on any of the vowels in those words. You're kind of going right through, right? And rev eroini em avad alleluia jebif naishob sha'ine, right? So one more time all together, it's going to be Fi etaftamio en hanishtin rev eroini em avad alleluia jebif naishob sha'ine. Okay, the next is going to be Efri orshi shi ente pi ehu alleluia jebif naishob sha'ine. I do not know why Coptic reader doesn't have the Jin Kim on the Efri, but it should be. So it's not going to be just free orshi, it's going to be Efri orshi shi ente pi ehu alleluia jebif naishob sha'ine. So let's practice it slower. Efri orshi shi ente pi ehu alleluia jebif naishob sha'ine. Okay, so practice that. The next is Pio nemniseo evexose ente pi egor alleluia jebif naishob sha'ine. Pi egor, we're going to rush through. Okay, so the rest is going to be Peyo nemniseo evexosei ente pi egor, right? So ente pi egor, alleluia, jebifnai shobshaine, right? So Peyo nemniseo evexosei ente pi egor, alleluia, jebifnai shobshaine. One more time. Pieyo nemniseyo evexosei ente piegor, alleluia, jebifnai shobshaine. Okay. The next is going to be Fi etav shari en aki minem nushamisi, alleluia, jebifnai shobshaine. Notice the prolongation is happening on enakimi, nem nushamisi. So nushamisi and enakimi. Enakimi, so E of enakimi. Nushamisi. So the mi in Nushamisi. So together it's going to be Fi etav shari en aki minem Nushamisi. Alleluia. Jebifnai shobshaine. Okay. So regular speed is going to be Fi etav shari en aki minem Nushamisi. Alleluia. Jebifnai shobshaine. Okay. Here we're gonna go O afinim Pisrael evol miti alleluia jebifnai shobshaine. Let's go slow and notice where the prolongation is happening here, right? O afinim Pisrael evol miti alleluia jebifnai shobshaine. So the E, the mi of tumiti is where we're noticing one prolongation, and the il of Pisrael, right, is the other. So, o afinim Pisrael evol hentumiti, alleluia, jebifnai shobshaine. Okay, if you don't prolong the Pisrael, if you just go o afinim Pisrael evol hentumi, it's going to be awkward, right? It only flows when you prolong the Pisrael word a little bit. So, o afinim Pisrael evol hentumiti, alleluia, jebifnai shobshaine. Next, we're going to start high on this verse. It's going to go, Chen uji shesamachine moshosh evechosi alleluia jebefnai shobshaine. So one more time. Chen uji shesamachine moshosh evechosi alleluia jebefnai shobshaine. One more time, slow. Chen uji shesamachine moshosh evechosi alleluia jebefnai shobshaine. Okay, one more time, even slower. Chen ujij es amahinem oshosh evechosi alleluia jebifnai shobshaine. So notice you're really singing the chosi of evechosi and oshosh, right? So chen ujij es amahinem oshosh evechosi alleluia jebifnai shobshaine. Nem oshosh evechosi, right? Notice the prolongation. Oshosh evechosi, right? Chen ujij esamahinem oshosh evechosi alleluia jebifnai shobshaine. So normal speed. Chen ujij esamahinem oshosh evechosi alleluia jebifnai shobshaine. Okay. Next we have Fi etta forg emifjomen shari hen han forg alleluia. Jebifnai shobshaine. Okay. Apologies for that. So the pause happens after Fieta Forg. It's going to be a bit of a pause, right? So you don't read it through all. It's not going to be Fieta Forg emifjomen shari hen han forg. It's going to be Fieta Forg emifjomen shari hen han forg alleluia jebifnai shobshaine. So if we go slower, you can notice that pause after Fieta Forg. It's going to go like this. Fieta Forg emifjomen shari hen han forg alleluia jebifnai shobshaine. Okay, one more time. Fi etta forg emifjomen shari hen han forg alleluia jebifnai shobshaine. Okay, the next is going to be O afinim Pisrael imir hentef miti alleluia jebifnai shobshaine. So this is very similar to here up top. O afinim Pisrael evol miti. Very similar. Here it's just going to be O afinim Pisrael emir hentef miti alleluia jebifnai shobshaine. So going slow. O afinim Pisrael emir hentef miti alleluia jebifnai shobshaine. So normal speed, we say the following. O afini Israel imir hentef miti alleluia jebifnai shobshayne. Okay. Here, o avvor verem faro o nimtef gomtirs if yomin shari alleluia jebifnai shobshayne. Notice what's happening here, okay? O avvor verem faro o nimtef gomtirs. Pause. If yomin shari alleluia jebifnai shobshayne. So two things to note here. One, prolong the o, right? So it's o avvor ver. Okay, so it's o avvor ver, and then it goes into the next. O avvor verem faro o nimtef gomtirs. Pause. If yomin shari alleluia jebifnai shobshayne. Okay? So practice prolonging the o, and then the avor ver and faro and tifgum tears. Chant it as usual. Pause a little bit. If yom in shari alleluia jebif naishub shayine. Okay? So total is gonna go o avor ver and faro o nem tifgum tears. If yom in shari alleluia jebif naishub shayine. Okay. Next is going to be Fieta finim piflaos evolene krihi ipshafe. Okay, the prolongation is happening on empiflaos. Fieta finim piflaos evole nechrihi epshafe. And you're going to rush the nechrihi epshafe. The he is going to be very quick here. Nechrihi epshafe. So total is going to be Fieta finim piflaos evole nechrihi epshafe. Alleluia. Jebifnai shobshayine. So both verses together. O avvor verem faro o nemtef gomtirs if yomin shari alleluia jebif naishop shayne. Next, fieta finim peflaos evolene chichi epshafe alleluia jebif naishop shayne. Here, it's going to be fieta finin omo u evolchen u petren ko in shot alleluia jebif naishop shayne. Here, we're prolonging the en omo u. So it's going to be fi etaf inin omo u. So just practice that. Fi etaf inin omo u. Right? That prolongation happens. Then it's evolchen u petrenko in shot. There's no pause. There's no prolongation. It just read through. Evolchen u petrenko in shot. And don't forget the chen has that sound like a molocheya, right? So it's evolchen u petrenko in shot. Alleluia. Jebifnai shobshayine. So total, it's going to be في etaf inin omo u evolchen u petrenko in shot alleluia jebifnai shobshayine. If we go a bit slower, it's going to be like this. في etaf inin omo u evolchen u petrenko in shot alleluia jebifnai shobshayine. So practice that, okay? Next we have في etaf shari in hanishtin oro u alleluia jebifnai shobshayine. Nothing too complicated here, right? You're just kind of chanting it straight through. Fi etaf shari in hanishtin oro u alleluia jebifnai shobshayine. No prolongations, no pauses. Here we have o avchotev han oro evoin shviri alleluia jebifnai shobshayine. This one might sound weird, so I'll go slow. O avchotev han oro evoin shviri alleluia jebifnai shobshayine. One more time. O avchotev han oro evoin shviri alleluia jebifnai shobshayine. One more time. O avchotev han oro evoin shviri alleluia jebifnai shobshayine. One more time, try it on your own after this one. O avchotev han oro evoin shviri alleluia jebifnai shobshayine. So prolonging the o, okay? O avchotev han oro evoin shviri. And after in han oro you're going to go straight to evoin shviri. So there's no prolongation on the han oro, right? O avchotev han oro evoin shviri. Notice, right? Avchotev han oro evoin shviri. Right? Don't even say the yet. Just say avchotev han oro evoin shviri. We go straight through. Only the is prolonged. Avchotev han oro evoin shviri alleluia jebifnai shobshayine. One more time together. U afchot even chan oro evoin shviri alleluia jebifnai shobshaini. The next one's pretty straightforward. Seonep oro enteni amoreos. That's it. Seonep oro enteni amoreos alleluia jebifnai shobshaini. I'll go one slow and then we'll move on. Seonep oro enteni amoreos alleluia jebifnai shobshaini. Next is Nem oge poro ente ithbasan. Again, very straightforward. Nem oge poro ente ithbasan. Just practice that. Nem oge poro ente ithbasan. Alleluia. Je bifnai shobshayine. Okay. Next is going to be Afti empuka hi eveklinomei. Alleluia. Je bifnai shobshayine. One more time. Afti empuka hi eveklinomei. Alleluia. Je bifnai shobshayine. We'll go slow. Afti empuka hi eveklinomei. Alleluia. Je bifnai shobshayine. Okay, so we're prolonging the empukahi and the evek lineromeia. Afti empukahi evek lineromeia. Alleluia. Je bifnai shobshayine. One more time slow. Afti empukahi evek lineromeia. Alleluia. Je bifnai shobshayine. So notice the kahi and eya are prolonged. Okay. Avec l'Romeia empevok Pisrael, Alleluia, Je bifnai shobshayine. Okay, here, avec l'Romeia is going to go straight into empevok. Okay, so it's going to go avec l'Romeia empevok Pisrael, Alleluia, Je bifnai shobshayine. So you're prolonging the vok and the Pisrael. Okay, so avec l'Romeia empevok. So just practice that. Avec l'Romeia empevok. Slow. Avec l'Iranomeia empevok. Avec l'Iranomeia empevok. So just practice that. Avec l'Iranomeia empevok. Pisrael. So that's how it's going to happen. So total, it's going to be Avec l'Iranomeia empevok. Pisrael. Alleluia. Je bifnai shobshayine. Okay. Next is going to be Enechrihen Petheveyof Erpen Mevin Je Epshois. Alleluia. Je bifnai shobshayine. Okay. One more time. Enechrihen Petheveyof Erpen Mevin Je Epshois. So going straight through, right? Enechrihen Petheveyof Erpen Mevin Je Epshois. And practice this word. Af Erpen Mevi. Af Erpen Mevi. Right? It's not Af Erpen Mevi. It's Af Erpen Mevi. Enechrihen Petheveyof Erpen Mevin Je Epshois. Alleluia. Je bifnai shobshayine. One more time. Enechrihen Petheveyof Erpen Mevin Je Epshois. Alleluia. Je bifnai shobshayine. Okay. Next is O afsotene vol hennen jijentenen gaji. Alleluia. Je bifnai shobshayine. One more time. Afsotene vol. So just practice that. Afsotene vol. So two prolongations. And a vol. Afsotene vol hennen jijentenen gaji. Alleluia. Je bifnai shobshayine. One more time. Afsotene vol hennen jijentenen gaji. Alleluia. Je bifnai shobshayine. One more time. Afsotene vol hennen jijentenen gaji. Alleluia. Je bifnai shobshayine. Next is going to be Fi eticheren sarex niven etonch. So a lot of sounds here, but Fi eticheren sarex niven etonch. Alleluia. Je bifnai shobshayine. So practice it slow. Fi eticheren sarex niven etonch. Alleluia. Je bifnai shobshayine. Fi eticheren sarex niven etonch. Alleluia. Je bifnai shobshayine. O on evol mefnotiente et fe. That's the last pretty much normal, right? O on evol mefnotiente et fe. Alleluia. Je bifnai shobshayine. One more time. O on evol mefnotiente et fe. Alleluia. Je bifnai shobshayine. And the last verse is going to go, O on hevol emep shoisente ni choisho Christos o agathos Alleluia, Jebifnai Shob Sha'ine, which is a perfect transition to modern on, which we also cover on the videos. But that is the second canticle in Coptic. So I recommend that you guys, when you are looking over the video, practice on your own, right? So listen to the way it's chanted or sung, and then pause the video, practice it on your own, return back, noting where the prolongations, where the pauses, and how the cadence or the tune is being applied to the words. And just keep practicing it over and over and over and over and over again. Stuff like this is best learned when there's a lot of repetition and just consistently drilling into your head the tune and the words, right? And what's happening. And fortunately, right, glory to God, this is a canticle that you'll always have the same tune for, regardless of the season, right? There's some parts of the tasbaha, maybe for example, like Tanawih and Sok, where the tune is a little bit different, or what we're doing is a little bit different season to season. Here it's the same, right? Whether or not you're in Lent, whether you're, on a festive day or whether you're an annual day, it's always going to be the same tune. And you'll always hear this canticle regardless of which day of the week you are in. So there's always a great opportunity to just get this tune and get the canticle and get the hymn into your head. But I pray that this video was helpful in any way, shape, and form. I love you guys so much. Please continue to pray for the service. And if there's anything you ever need relating to Al-Han, relating to book discussion, relating to anything, foods, rides, whatever, please let me know. And I would love to do anything for you guys. Because it's a big barakah. So anything you guys need, please reach out. You can leave a comment. You can message me personally, email, أي حاجة كده. But I love you guys so much. And I pray you have nothing short of the most amazing rest of your day.